Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Susanna Gyenes, and I'm here to present today about lunch and learn sessions and safety moments and whether these are working and how to make learning more effective. About my background, I'm a senior process safety specialist, a former Seveso site inspector, founder and owner of the company named Global Industrial Safety Solutions. As you can see on the slide, I have different expertise in process safety management systems and my passion also learning from major accidents. About meaningful learning, first of all. Companies are always looking for the best solutions and the best tools, and they try to achieve better understanding about certain safety concerns. And a couple of tools that are available, and two of those are the safety moments and lunch and learn sessions. So, what are these? Safety moments, as you can see here, a very, very brief definition, a short, specific exercises designed to get employees thinking about safety. It's a brief safety talk right in the beginning of a meeting or a shift. They usually involve a safety-related problem or a scenario that employees are likely to encounter on their job, followed by a few minutes of reflection and discussion. Lunch and learn sessions are special lunchtime meetings, mainly for training purposes, designed to encourage employees to engage with each other in discussion in different aspects. It normally occurs during lunchtime, and employees can learn new skills, they complete a training, attend seminars, and assimilate information. Now, how can these tools be used effectively? And if there are any, what are the pitfalls? And are these tools working? Or do they need something else or a refreshment? The safety moments. When a company decides to use safety moments meetings, the first step is to make sure that they understand what are those meetings for. What do they want to achieve with these discussions? Is there a standard procedure to set up these conversations around safety topics? Maybe there was a recent incident or near miss and unsafe act, or maybe they received a notice from the regulators. Now, who is responsible for producing the document? And what's the next step after the meeting? What happens? Everyone returns to their daily job and then forget about the meeting, or there are some follow-up actions. Is there a document or report or something, a sheet that they can consult later on? And after, is there an archive? Where do they keep? Do the company actually keep these records? And please note, these safety moments do not have as much learning as their focus. They are not always focused on the group attending at the meeting. What about lunch and learns? Lunch and learn sessions may seem to be more relaxed way of learning. At the same time, they are equally important. People tend to engage to have conversations about safety topics, about past incidents, and they are more open for discussions. Now, these sessions are between 30 and 60 minutes, and they focus on something around the training. While I was working at the iChemist Safety Center, we used to run lunch and learn sessions about our interactive case studies. That meant that we invited other departments who came to these meetings and experienced these interactive case studies, which were designed to encourage and help with learning lessons from past incidents. So I think it was a very, very successful event, and they liked it, and they can refer to other aspects in their lives. So HR, finance, who may not necessarily be involved per se in process safety. But again, the same questions, and as you can see here on the slide. What happens to these meetings after? Are they becoming a regular meetings, or are they there for learning purposes? it is an event, but is learning really the focus? How is attendance managed or encouraged? Is it obligatory? And how can you use these tools more effectively? First of all, I would say before organizing any of these events, you must seek clarity. So, in other words, what do you want to achieve with either of the two events? Are they matching your goals? And who are they for? Is it for operators? Is it for the engineering teams? Or, as I mentioned earlier, other supporting functions to improve their competence in process safety? With that clarity, leadership is number one ingredient. Be committed and focus on to enhance safety culture in the company. Clarify the roles, responsibilities of these sessions. Who are going to prepare them? Who are going to present them? What happens after? Will there be someone who takes notes? That means ownership and providing the understanding why do you need to organize such sessions. What is the message that you try to convey? And if you communicate findings from past events, what are the next steps? I would ask the question, so what? And finally, make sure that there is a follow-up after these meetings. I help with a couple of questions. Maybe these are nice questions to help to reflect on your current policy in terms of implementing learnings. And these are, is the prevention of chemical accidents a core value of your organization? How is it lived out on a day-to-day operation? Do you collect data and information about past accidents and feed them into any kind of database? And then what? What happens next? Because remember, process safety accidents are still occurring. I just, as a reminder, put here the definition because we should not forget about those. And in fact, if we think about what can happen, then try to tell the story using the major accident pathway. You see that there are not only a couple of tools available, there are so many different tools available to figure out what can happen, what is the pathway coming from the initiating causes, going towards the top event or hazardous event that you try to avoid, and then what are the consequences. When you think about safety barriers that either could prevent the hazardous event from occurring or mitigate the consequences, think about safety barriers or safeguards or layers of protection as in terms of management, the technical part, and the organization. Understand that they are not only technical. Once you understand how to tell the story and remember them, then there is a slide here with a couple of major accidents that we have seen and learned in the past, but unfortunately there are many more. And many experts say we need more databases to report accidents. At the same time, are we really lacking information? In fact, there is overwhelming information about past events. And it's not the job of the database to fix the lack of learning or implementation of learning. So, would another database fix the lack of learning? And what is missing then? So, just a couple of thoughts here, just to trigger some additional thoughts and conversations later on. We miss the understanding of how to use the information that are inside these databases to effectively implement the key learnings and to make sure that the right information is in the right place and that is understood, and also that the lessons are learned and sustainable practices maintained. Couple of recommendations about effective safety moments and lunch and learn sessions. Try to tell the story. Use Bowtie, use whatever other tools that you wish to use to tell the story, what happened. Let's have a conversation about causes and contributing factors. Go beyond technical. Have a conversation. Could it happen in your company? Are there any similarities? If you believe it could happen to you, check if the current control systems are in place, that they are maintained, and if they are effective and adequate to prevent such an event. And if you believe it couldn't happen to you, why? Can you demonstrate it? Are the control systems robust? If the control systems are not satisfactory, make the necessary steps to extend control measures. Responsibility, time, finance, commitment. And document the lessons learned and the changes made. That is really, really crucial. Just one term I would like to drop in here, creeping changes. So record and archive. I think this actually